Immigration and immigration. To begin, Mexico has experienced one of the most significant waves of immigration in the world. This movement became especially visible from the 1980s onward, when a large number of Mexicans left the country, initially driven by financial necessity. Many traveled to the United States, which was seen as a place with higher wages, better work conditions, and more stable economic prospects. Many immigrants were unskilled workers who accepted demanding jobs in agriculture, domestic service, or construction. Despite the difficulties and hardship, they remained persistent, motivated by the hope of supporting their families. Mexico has also experienced a growing influx of immigrants, mainly from Central America, including Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala. Some choose Mexico as their final destination, while others hope to take advantage of its geographic position and continue north. However, migration policies have become more stringent, and some migrants are deported or face unjustified stereotypes that classify them unfairly. Turkey. Immigration profile. Now, let us shift the focus to Turkey, which has one of the most largest foreign-born populations in the world. The country absorbed a colossal influx of refugees from Syria, escaping war and political unrest. These immigrants often work in construction, small shops, and domestic labor. Many are unskilled, but they play a vast role in the country's economy. Despite their contributions, they still face bias, language barriers, and integration challenges. Turkey continues to search for ways to bring them into the mainstream workforce and encourage social cohesion, although the process is delicate and requires long-term efforts. Mexico. Diversity in my community. Returning to Mexico, the presence of foreign residents varies greatly from one region to another. In my own community, however, there are not many people from different countries. It is essentially small and relatively homogeneous with very limited immigration. The only person who comes to my mind immediately is my friend's mother, who is from South Korea. Besides her, the influx of international residents is minimal, so our exposure to foreign cultures is often indirect. As for languages, people speak only Spanish in everyday situations. Spanish is the dominant and mainstream language, and there is no linguistic segregation. Other languages appear mainly in media or in school, but not in ordinary community conversations. Regarding ethnic restaurants, we mostly have places that serve food inspired by other countries, but they are run by Mexican owners and staff, so the cultural influence is somewhat bland or dismissed. The only true exception is a Chinese buffet, where the owners and workers seem to be part of the same family. Their traditions and cooking style feel more authentic and show how cultures can merge in subtle ways. When it comes to ethnic stores such as foreign bookstores or international grocery shops, I have not seen any in my local area. Our shops are mostly domestic with limited international products, reflecting a more traditional commercial environment. On a more positive note, almost all schools in Mexico, from kindergarten to college, offer English as a second language, and many include French, German, or Italian. This reflects how Mexican education has become more dynamic and more aligned with contemporary global needs. How Mexican culture has changed and how it remains unique. Over the last generation, Mexican culture has experienced an important transition influenced by globalization, international travel, and technology. Young people today are constantly exposed to content from all around the world, allowing our culture to absorb and embrace new ideas in fashion, music, food, and entertainment. Foreign influence has certainly grown. Global trends have reached Mexico. International brands are popular, and social media has reduced cultural distances. This has incrementally reshaped lifestyle choices and have encouraged greater openness and tolerance among the younger population. However, Despite these changes, Mexican culture continues to be deeply distinct, resilient, and strongly connected to its roots. Our traditions, such as Dia de Muertos, family gatherings, regional food, and music, remain a core and cherished part of our national identity. Instead of disintegrating these traditions, persist and coexist with newer influences, showing how cultural cohesion can survive even in a rapidly changing world. In other words, Mexico has modernized, but it has not lost its essence. We value our heritage and continue to protect it, even as we open our doors to global ideas. Discrimination in Mexico. Finally, discrimination continues to be a serious problem in Mexico. It appears in many forms, including racism, colorism, gender discrimination, and prejudice against indigenous communities. These issues often occur in educational institutions, workplace, and even spaces where people might be dismissed, excluded, or judged due to stereotypes or unfounded assumptions. Although the situation can be detrimental, several initiatives aim to remedy it. National institutions such as CONAPRED work to protect victims and reduce inequality. Local organizations promote workshops about inclusion, and international programs encourage Mexico to improve its policies and protect vulnerable populations. Progress is slow, but with persistent effort and stronger ethical standards, Mexican society is gradually pushing towards fairness, equality, and respect. Thanks for listening.